Got us both in there?
Got them on mine, yeah.
Good to go.
Right. Look at that. Look at that. We got 3 cameras now.
Addiction
We're fucking
and
killing it.
Recovery Talk, episode 28. Here we go again. We love doing this, man.
What's going on, everybody? We want to welcome all the people in the live, everybody new. Follow, like, share, tell your friends. Addiction and Recovery Talk, man. We're here to tell you guys to spread the message of positivity. We're here to spread awareness about the good, the bad, the ugly, the do's and don'ts. And we also are here to share our amazing stories of success. You know, me and Derek are the kind of guys that we don't think will ever truly, I don't know if I'll ever be successful in my own eyes. I will always be working and working and working and working harder and trying to get taller and stronger and better at everything.
That's right. Always something to be working towards. I want to shout out to all my yogi people. Just want y'all to know, Wednesday I start my Bikram training to be a Bikram hot yoga instructor.
What exactly is Bikram?
Bikram is, he's actually...
Yeah, it's a person, right?
He's a person. Well, it's controversy on that.
Okay. I know that
All right,
story. Yeah, he did some weird sex shit. But tell us about the Bikram yoga.
Okay,
Not
well,
about that weirdo.
Some people change the names. They call it the classic now, or the 26 and 2. But it's hot yoga. It's 26 poses, 2 breathing exercises. Class is 90 minutes. Perfect conditions are considered to be 105 degrees with 40% humidity. It's an open eye meditation. It's changed my life. It's part of my fitness journey since May. I got a birthday for yoga. Like, I have a clean date for being clean. May 17th, 2022. I've been doing it. I got 8 classes. So I'm going to be probably hitting 1,000 by this month or early next month classes at that particular studio, because I do it other places too. And yeah, man, it's talking about strength, flexibility. It's like it's for the mind. It's a meditation, and I think I had some spiritual awakenings in there a couple times, like, my higher power.
Definitely, that's one of the reasons why they do it in such the temperature.
Yeah.
That's why they do that, to help you with that. This is why I've been trying to find a good yoga place, but I haven't been able to link up with Derek's class because I'm busy during those times I have clients. But I went to a yoga this morning. It was terrible. All right, the teacher's talking the whole time. She's telling everybody, you don't have to do this pose if you don't want to. It's your class. It's your yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kids, there's girls behind us whispering and giggling and shit the whole time. I mean, there was like Alanis Morissette or like some weird music on. It wasn't anything calming. It was like some new age pop shit from like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was torture.
Well, our class, the 90-minute is, the only person talking is the instructor. And it's very disciplined, very respectful. Just to throw this out there, because we talk about whatever. This lady that watches our podcast, she says she enjoys it, and she threw out a subject that we might want to talk about. I don't know, because me and you didn't really talk about what we're going to talk about.
You know what? We didn't do that today. We just set up
Whatever.
and got rocking.
Whatever. It'll go wherever it goes.
We're going to talk about her stuff.
She talked about. Why don't you talk about? Because me and her were talking about. Because she's about 5 years younger than me, and I was talking about how I was actually doing this machine. You know the sled thing I do?
Yeah, of course.
She wanted to do the sled, and I had all these weights on there, so she said something about, you gonna take the weights off? And I was like, I gotta take the weights off too, but I was only kidding when I was like, of course I'm gonna take the weights off for you. I was born in that era where gentlemen, we were raised in a certain way.
To be men.
And to be respectful of, like for instance, authority. We had to respect our teachers. We had to respect the police. We had to respect anybody in the coaches, anybody in a position of authority. I would
say
if there was a problem, if any of them disrespected us, then all right, I'm not gonna really address it, but I'm gonna come back home and let my parents know so they can address it. So it was like a almost like a chain of command, and we definitely were taught to be respectful to women, like open doors for them, hold the door, like all that stuff. And I had a lot of aunts.
A truly masculine man's going to respect the authority and is going to respect those weaker than him as well.
Yeah,
He's gonna
we were
respect
trained.
people.
That's another thing. We were trained as men that we look out for women because we're just men are supposed to be leaders and protectors and providers and all that good stuff.
So what happened with her?
Who?
The sled thing.
Oh, I took all the weights off
Yeah.
for
What
it.
did she say she wanted to talk about?
Oh, she said, "Why don't you talk about that, like in your podcast?" Because she watches, like mention it about how like
Young men need to learn how to be men.
Be
again these
respectful
days.
and-
We need to
and-
be respectful.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I
There's
mean?
listen, being the loudmouth asshole, that doesn't show that you're tough. That doesn't show that you're cool either. You might get a couple of laughs and giggles from a couple of other losers, but here's
It's in a couple other things.
yeah.
That's
the
true.
man who's loudest in the room is the one who's trying to scare people away from a fight. They're not the one who want to fight. They're the one who's trying to intimidate people away from fighting them. All right.
Yeah.
So don't be that guy. You don't. There's no need for it. It's just. It's not cool. It's
Yeah.
just not cool.
Yeah.
And you might get some. That's the thing. You may attract a couple of other weaklings or some skanks. But you're not going to attract any woman with any femininity and any value. You're not going to attract any men that are going to better you in your life and help you take your life to the next level. You're going to attract other weak, low vibration, low value people. That's all that's going to be.
Yeah, and if you do the right thing, maybe other people start thinking that's the cool thing to do, is the right thing, like being respectful, being an example, a good example. You know what I mean? Like for instance, we did drugs, we got high and all that stuff. But I remember let's say we were out somewhere and we were smoking weed or drinking. If somebody's mom walked by, we would put it down. And we would speak to them. We would, they had respect. We didn't disrespect. We didn't do that. I'll never forget this. I remember I got clean. I went to rehab. And I was in Philly, and I was on the SEPTA bus, and I was probably less than a year clean or around that area. So you're talking like '95, and I was on a school bus, and these kids were so disrespectful. And it was like older. I was looking at this older woman, and she could have been my aunt or my mom, and I was like, they were cussing, and just like, I was like, are they serious? Like, they don't see that this woman's here, and she could hear how they're talking, and they didn't care. And I was just like, wow. Like, my generation, we didn't do that, man. We got high and we drank, but we would tone it down until the older person or somebody left, like, and then we would pick it back up, I guess.
Well, they've accepted degeneracy. It's just, mediocrity and degeneracy have been accepted. At first it started with the mediocrity being accepted. Oh, it's okay, you're great the way you are, even though you suck at everything. And
Oh, like the participation trophies?
Yeah, but it was like a participation trophy in everything in life. Mom, oh, it's okay. Oh, he's okay. Oh, you're great. Oh. And then it starts to turn into, then they're mouthing off at school. Then they're doing dickhead shit. Then, oh, it's okay, he's this. And it just snowballs into everything.
My mom
you
kicked my ass.
Take the
one
father
time.
out of the home. There's no father to discipline. And God forbid if father does discipline, mother's incentivized to leave. She's getting paid, taking everything of his life. I mean, she can take the kids away. I mean, the way the system works now, the government, the way the system, marriage works in America, a woman can truly ruin a man's life. And the divorce can be her fault. She can literally get caught cheating on him. And she'll take half his shit for the rest of his life. She can take the child away from him, barely see his kid. Then you know what, on top of that, some women are evil and they'll fill that kid's head with a bunch of nasty shit about the father. I mean, this is why a lot of men are afraid to even open their mouths. Granted, that's a weak man to begin with, but if you're that deep into a relationship with someone and you haven't had to mark any boundaries yet, that's kind of an issue to begin with. But, you know, that's on you.
Yeah, it's set up definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
my my first wife, you know, she relapsed. She was gone. I went down to. I was angry. I did it out of anger because she had no job. She wasn't going to be able to pay me child support. But I went down there anyway, filed it for it, and they basically didn't want to hear it from me. They basically were like, "Well, how are we going to get money?" And I was just like, "Well,
What's up, Poppy?
if the shoe was on the other foot,
Yeah.
I never filed for child support from her. I just took it on the chin.
I was doing a guy's mortgage one time, and he was giving his wife $110,000 a year in child support.
He must have been making a lot of money.
He was making around $5, but granted,
500,000
before taxes. So he was probably pulling home around 400. This man's working his ass off and giving her a quarter of what he's working. She made,
Did she work?
yes, she was making $90,000 a year herself. Yeah. So this is
How many kids?
2.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's pretty
You
wild.
don't need $10,000.
I think that's why people are afraid to get married
They're
nowadays.
afraid to get married, and then once
Yeah.
they get married, they're afraid to men are afraid to even put their foot down and stand up for themselves because that will happen.
Wow.
You know, a woman goes to the cops. He hit me. 99% of the time, those
Oh,
cops will
man.
not investigate.
I
They
gotta-
will take him to jail and take her word for
I
it.
got arrested just because my second wife just said what I did, you know, I wasn't. I just noticed the police weren't leaving. I said, "Yo, what's up? Like, am I gonna get arrested?" They were like, "Yeah, because you got to go. Like,
What else, Bubba?
like, then we'll figure it out later." I was like,
Yeah, we'll arrest you and figure it out later.
I was like, because I thought I had a good, you know, what I was saying.
Chance?
Yeah, I didn't, you know, I never dealt with that before. So when they came, you know, and I just noticed that they weren't leaving. And I was real calm, and I was like, "Look, man, I'm getting ready to move. Like we just don't get along no more." I says, "I'm moving out Friday." It was Monday. I was like, you know, I got my kids, blah blah blah, and I just noticed they weren't leaving. So I was like, "So what's up? Like, am I getting arrested? Because you guys don't seem like you're leaving." They were like, "Yeah, we gotta take you in."
What
I
the
was
fuck
like,
you waiting for? Bubba?
like I told you a great explanation. That sounds good to me. Like, why are you still here? And they were like, "Look." And you know what's crazy? It was 2 officers. One of them was a woman. So I said, "All right, can you just do me a favor?" I said, "I gotta call somebody to come get my daughters." Right? They were like, I don't know, 12 and 9 at the time. So I called a friend. She came, and it just so happens she had 2 daughters that were my daughter's best friends. They were the same ages. I think the younger one might have been a year older than my youngest one, but the other one, they were in the same grade as you know, her and my older daughter were in the same grade. And they were good friends. And I called her, and she came and got, you know, my daughters. And I asked the cops, "Can you do me one more favor?" They were like, "What's that?" "Can you not cuff me in front of my daughters? Can you like walk me over to the side, then cuff me, then put me in the car?" And because I was so cooperative and like, because when the cops see, one thing about, I know, like, I'm gonna keep it real. I know I'm black, right? That's not gonna ever change. So when I'm have any interactions with cops, I try to keep it like very cordial and like let them know I'm not here to for no drama. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, let's just talk this out. Let's try to work this out. And so they
Cops are dicks to everybody, though, right?
They could, I mean, it depends on the situation, because everybody is not the same. So you can't put everybody.
Yeah.
You can't say all cops are this because they're not. That's not the truth. That's like saying all blacks are this or all whites are this. Like, every group has the whole rainbow of people. So
true.
nice to vicious.
That's true. And
So
that's, why
that's
I
just the
don't-
way it is.
That's why we can't use any of that bullshit no more.
Yeah. So I talked my way into.
Here's something I gotta say. You see that? That's white right there. That's not white. That's tan. That's a shade of brown. That's a darker shade of brown.
Well, I got a whole nother ideal about that. We can get into that too. But the lady, the cop, they took me to the side. They put the cuffs on me, and then I got in the lady cop's car, and she basically said to me, she doesn't feel good about this, because she's like, you're a good dude. It sounds like all you want to do is just move on with your life, blah blah blah, and this and that. I was like, look, it's all good. Just we'll go down there and we'll get through this. I'm just glad that you did everything I asked you to. You let me call somebody to come get my kids. Didn't have to go in the system, and then you didn't put the cuffs on me in front of my kids.
That's right.
And so, like, I got out of jail that same night. You know what I mean? And whatever, and life goes on. But you gotta be smart when you're dealing with any type of situation. You gotta think it through. Now, like, if the police come, they got guns and handcuffs. So I'm not gonna be talking trash to them, knowing that they got that, and I don't. You gotta keep it real.
Be respectful.
You gotta keep it real. Now, if they just want to do something, then there's nothing I can do about that. If they just want to just be nasty, that's gonna happen. But if you can diffuse a situation, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to survive this. I'm trying to not get arrested.
What's up, Sakuna?
I'm trying to not get arrested, but if I do get arrested, I want to,
90% of the time, if you're respectful to people, they'll be respectful back, whether they're fucking cops or whatever. Unless the people are dickheads, yeah, you'll run into some dickheads.
Yeah,
There's always the exception to the rule.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you can always turn it on. You don't have to be a dickhead. You can just be respectful to everyone. If the time comes where you need to smack them, then smack them. But there's no need to treat people like shit. If they're acting dicky to you, have consequences. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
I like to be respectful to people regardless.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk shit to you. I don't need to argue with you and try to talk you down.
No, and then
If you cross the boundary, we can cross the boundary together.
yeah, and that's part
White,
of me.
black, cop, no cop, purple, yellow, Chinese.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck.
And that's part of me being, somebody in recovery who's worked on themselves, like trying not to, be confrontational and make things
And
worse.
that's it. And look at how it worked out for you. Yeah, it was bullshit that he had to go down, but
Put it this way, we got through it.
Yeah.
My friends got to go to their friend's house. You know what I mean? They didn't get too upset because, you know what I mean? I was like, look, I'll be out. It's all good.
Did it actually go down, or was she bullshit?
Now, what happened was, after that, we had to go to court. Then she was just upset that I was leaving, kind of type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, when we went to court, I had to, because I got charged with domestic violence. So I had to agree to pay her some money until we got divorced per month. And my lawyer was like, look, just do that. And I was like, all right. I forgot what it was. I paid her some money once a month to drop the charges. And I moved that Friday and life went on. And then once we got divorced, then I didn't have to pay nothing no more. Because I wasn't married to her that long. I was only married to her 3 years. But I tapped into my annuity and gave her some money, whatever, just to be free and move forward in life. Because you can always make more money. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be free at that point and move on and raise my kids, and that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So life goes on. You know what I mean? Life goes on, man.
There you go, man. That's what you got to do. So, hey, man. What's up, man? Omar, what's going on, big dog? How y'all feeling? Sakuna, what's going on? Hey, man, if anybody's got anything to say, any questions, feel free to reach out. Me and Derek, for those of you that just joined, we're just talking about respect, man, and how especially a lot of young men are just disrespectful, and they
Not just men, women.
They need to work. But here's
Girls.
the bottom line. We're not girls. We
Boys
never
and-
were girls.
But this is.
I
I
can't
don't
speak
know.
for a woman.
No, I'm just saying. Young people are different. It's just different. They grew up in a whole different environment, though.
The girls have their own fucking issue.
They got to deal with social media at a young age.
Dude,
They get cell phones very young.
And the problem, I think a big issue with women is that their main role models are all literal prostitutes. Kim Kardashian, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion.
They're not prostitutes.
No, they were women that were prostitutes. Now they're
So
not.
what's wrong with that?
That's
They
not
turned-
really
they
the
turn-
role model for a woman, a young girl that I want.
They turn their lives around.
by singing about prostitution and degeneracy and all
They
that
don't
shit.
do
They're
that, do they?
disgusting. Bro, you better listen to some of their music. What's one of those
Kim Kardashian
wet
ain't no
ass pussy?
singer.
No, she got famous by a sex tape, by a porn movie, by a homemade porn movie that she put out, and then acted like, oh, I didn't put it out. It's all come out now. It was all part of her mama's plan. They're disgusting, bro. That's not the role model you want for your daughter. Right, whether they did it or not. Like, that's not okay. That's teaching a young girl, oh, go fuck off, go do OnlyFans, but you'll be able to turn it around. No, you won't. Once you build that reputation, nobody wants you. Those women got, they got lucky.
Now, I
Who
can't
knows
say
what
that.
the fuck
A lot
they
of
did
people
to get
seem,
into
a
Hollywood.
lot of people seem to want her. Did she get
Who?
Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, dude, and look at what happens to every man in her world. They all end up fucked. And here's
I'm just saying, she gets men. I ain't saying it works.
The exception doesn't make the rule, guys. The exception doesn't make the rule, okay?
I'm not saying it's gonna last forever.
The exception don't make the rule, bro. And look at every man's life has been ruined after they got done with her. Every single one. And
Everyone? Is she married now?
Nope. Not that I know of, no.
Oh, she was married to
She was with Kanye, ruined
That's
him.
right.
The other sister ruined Lamar Odom. He turned into a crazy junkie.
Nah,
that dude
he was
Scott
probably
turned
getting high
into a
before he
crazy
met her.
junkie.
You can't blame
but
that on
it's
her.
like, oh, yes. Yeah.
You mean to tell me
it's
she
it's
met?
not a coincidence, bro, but just every
just
man
saying.
that turns out a complete mess after they get done with all those girls. Every single sister, every single man.
It might just be because those people have bad habits, like drug problems. You know what I mean? And if you got a drug problem and you got a lot of money, that's really a recipe for
Well, they're the
disaster.
common denominator in all those situations. So from the outside looking in.
Have you ever watched their show?
Unfortunately, yes. When I was on drugs, I did sit in front of the TV a lot.
I watched it like 2 or 3 times. I didn't watch it on a consistent
I'm
basis.
just not into it.
Is it still on?
The mother pimps out their daughters. Yeah, I think so. It's just not. No, they're just gross family, dude. They just got no morals, no values. They'll do anything for $1. But to sell your daughter's sex tape, to get famous, to get money, like, come on, dude.
Right. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was the mother's main. It was her whole business idea. Kim went along with it. They played the act. They acted. She acted like, oh, like this whole. It was an accident the whole time, but bullshit.
I wonder, did the other dude, did he get money out of it?
I'm sure. Yeah, Ray J had to get paid for it because after they put it out, he probably sued them for all the money, for at least part of it.
Get a cut of the
Yeah,
money?
he's probably still getting paid on it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, and I just don't, young people, and we all did it. I did it as a kid. We all did it. We like to follow Hollywood, and especially music. And this shit is just, I mean, dude. Even if you listen to songs like even like little Katy Perry songs, like that Friday night, it's in a bunch of kids shows. Like during the fucking chorus part, it's going, we had a menage a trois last Friday night. Like, you don't need to be telling shit like that to kids. Like, they don't need that stuff pumped in their brain over and over again. You're constantly told degenerate shit, you're gonna end up doing it, especially by people who you think are cool. And then that turns into cool.
That's a touchy subject because we're freedom of speech. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying lock them up or anything. Just don't fucking listen to it.
Right.
And I'm gonna, I believe that stuff's put out at a low vibration on purpose. Our radio stations have been tuned down from 432 hertz because that is one of the God tones. I think they say like that. Apparently. So you went from like Frank Sinatra's music and women kind of swooning over him to Elvis to women like freaking out over him because a lot of people consider the frequency change a big part of that.
Well, they said Elvis was a problem. They didn't like his music when he came out because they thought he was too suggestive in his movements and all that stuff like that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
because
back in the day,
at that time he was considered crude and rude or whatever, lewd, whatever. He was
different time, different place though,
Yeah.
but I mean,
times have changed. His stuff would be like
and history
tame right now.
Yeah, but you look at what it's led to, and it's always somebody. Oh, he got famous, and they thought he was edgy. So what's the next person do? Try to be even edgy.
It
Try
seems
to
like
say even more wild shit. Try
that
to
makes a
do
lot of
more
money. That
wild
gets a lot of
shit.
attention. Like drama and controversy seems to the people like are attracted to it.
And that's one of the things I feel like is messing with the mind. I mean, you look at what's scrolling. What do kids see all the time? The wildest shit. Kids, people screaming at women, Karens, people talking shit to cops. It's my Second Amendment. Like this is all you see on this. Nobody
it's funny,
posts their positive. Good shit.
I'm on social media, but I don't really watch it too much. I just don't. I post, I look a little bit, and I move on. I don't watch like Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok for long periods of time. I watch it, like I don't even post. My daughter posts it for me, but I do look every day for a little, like maybe 10, 15 minutes, if that, to see about how our stuff is going and stuff that I post is going. But that's about it. Then I do like some people's stuff that I see that I know that they post. I don't really spend a lot of time on social media.
So here's one.
You know what cracked me up? I don't even know if they still do it. I'm sure they are doing it now because of the election. I used to see people, and it blew me away. Especially like at one point, I guess at one point it just was new when people started arguing over politics on Facebook, and I would be like, damn, they've been arguing for hours on Facebook.
How do
like,
you have that much
typing and like going in, and I'm like, I was intrigued, and I would be like, wow, man,
I've got work to do.
they really, really are getting nasty with each other.
Yeah, because they know they're never going to be in front of each other. They know they're never going to have to deal with real human consequences.
It's funny. I wonder if anybody ever had a bad argument with somebody on Facebook and then saw him one day. I wonder what happened.
Yo, if anybody's done that, let us know in the comments now.
Like,
let us know in the
maybe
comments.
Maybe went to ShopRite one day and said, "Oh, that's them."
You ever bump into somebody you're talking shit to
all
online?
that trash.
Yeah.
On Facebook about because there's two sides,
always,
the
man,
red and the blue,
yeah.
like the Bloods and the Crips, right? We're fascinated with colors, you know what I'm saying? Like there's always like enemies for some reason, and like to really get that deep and argue with somebody over who they like, as far as politically, and get nasty with them. I mean, maybe if you want to discuss your views, okay, I see that. Like, hey man, this is why I believe in this candidate, or this is why I believe in the Republican Party or the Democrat. This is why. And then the other person can give you their reason. Because you should be able to have discussions, even, like, remember?
Coming back to respect.
Debate. Like, I remember they had debate teams in high school. I was nowhere near that.
Yeah, I mean, either. But yeah, they did.
But obviously, if you're debating, one person has one view and the other team, whatever, has another view. And so I think they had to learn how to discuss it.
Learn how to communicate
without
like
getting
humans.
nasty or getting like calling people names and getting like to the point where they want to fight physically.
Guys, we should all do that.
Or
we
hate
should
somebody.
All actively engage in disagreement conversations with people.
Yeah.
Not only this, you're going to learn, all right? And you're going to learn new shit. You're going to learn their point of view, and you're also going to learn how to respect people. You're going to learn how to keep your cool, stop just reacting on shit. That's another reason why everybody is so damn disrespectful. Bro, yeah, a lot of times I want to talk shit to people. All the time. I ride my Harley around. I want to scream fuck you at so many drivers. And be like, just, what the fuck are you thinking? But I don't.
What's that going to help?
You just screaming your head off at people acting like a dickhead doesn't work.
Yeah, you want to hear something?
You're not going to, 99% of the time, you're not changing the way people think.
This dude told me at a meeting years ago, maybe 10 years ago, he said, this guy cured me of my road rage. I was like, yeah, how do you do that? He
Put a gun in my face?
He said, that's what he did. He said, he cut him off, somebody cut somebody off, and he laid on his horn, gave the dude the finger, but the dude kept following him. They finally stopped at the red light, the dude got out with a gun, pulled it pulled it on him. And he said, yo, man, I'm sorry. And the dude got back in his car and drove off. And he said, I never had road rage after that again.
My cousin was living in Arizona, and he was telling me that all the time. He's like, bro, you know how y'all get road rage? Never in Arizona, because it's an open carry state.
Everybody's got something.
Most people got a car gun.
That's true because I was in Arizona when I was 18 for like I went to this junior college in Yuma, Arizona. Man, it's like the desert. And I was 18, so it was blowing my mind. I was at the post office, people walking around with guns in their holsters like cowboys. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And
they got the cowboy hats on too out there.
yeah, so like, you know, people are walking around strapped. So you don't want to be arguing with nobody, out there. You know what I mean? They don't play. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. It's just, you just never know who's having a bad day, man, who just lost their job, who just found out their wife was sleeping with their best friend. Like, you might catch somebody at the wrong time, and they feel like they ain't got nothing to lose. Their life is over anyway, and then here they need an excuse to lash out. And here you come beeping your horn, giving them the finger, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna take whatever my wife did, how she cheated with my best friend, and I caught them in bed. I'm pretending that's you right now.
Bro, with the mental health issues that are going on in our country and most of the world today, people are just ready. Some dudes are just ready to go. They're just ready to start fucking people up. You see people doing it for no reason now. You think if you test somebody and set them off, that you're not going to catch the wrong guy on a bad day? And why take that chance? You got to prove something. Who are you trying to prove to? Yourself? Bro, if you want to prove that you're tough,
get in the ring.
Go get in the ring. Go train.
Yeah.
Go get in the gym. Go get in the ring. I promise you, you're not as tough as you think.
Right.
But you can do it there, and you can become tough.
And you can walk away.
Yeah.
Even if you get beat up, then you say, all right, I got to train some more. Let me learn how to fight.
Get up and fight another day. Yeah.
That's when it was. When I was a kid, we used to have fights, fist fights, and nobody got killed. You know what I mean? Everybody just...
People are ready to
Somebody
die.
won, somebody lost, and a lot of times when you fought when I was a kid, you ended up being friends with that person you fought.
Yeah, because
that
you
happened
get
a lot.
respect for people, man. When people are willing to fight, willing to stand up for themselves,
Yeah.
people end up respecting them.
Yeah.
You learn so much about yourself fighting.
Yeah.
I learned so much about myself as a man being in the ring. Being in the ring, tired as shit. My arms feeling like they're 50 pounds each, and I'm in the corner knowing that some dude's got more experience than me, more strength, and there's a whole minute left in this round, and he's just gonna be fucking me up, where I can cower like a bitch and go down, or stay and take this beating, or I can fight.
So you gotta dig deep.
And all them thoughts will go through your head in a split second.
So you gotta dig deep, right?
Yeah.
You're tired.
And guess what? You may be that bitch for a second, but you can make a decision not to be. Like I say every day on my posts, every morning I tell y'all, you can be whatever you want to be that day. You can just make the decision to change.
Yeah.
Flip the switch, make the decision, and go. Be the new man.
Yeah.
Build him. You're not going to turn into him overnight. You can turn into him up here overnight, but out here it's going to take time to build. But trust me, that journey is a journey you'll remember forever.
I'm challenging myself right now by doing this thing called the 75 Hard, and the tough part is not the workouts, because I do that anyway. It's the mental of not having any cheat meals, which I'm getting better. I mean,
Sugar's a drug.
Yeah, it is. They call it the new cocaine, but it's like, just want to do it sometimes, like normally I'll cheat like once or twice a week, sometimes 3, right? But right now I'm dedicating myself to 75 days. I'm like on day 8 or 9. I gotta check back when I started.
I'm on a parasite cleanse.
Oh, really?
Yes, man.
Wow.
I am doing hot water in the morning, first thing in the morning, in an empty stomach. Fresh lemon, fresh ginger. I steep it in hot water. Some days I do a little bit of red panics ginseng in there as well, but it's got a super strong taste, so I don't do that every day. Drink that, boom. Then throughout the day, 3 times a day, and I've basically been, yesterday I fasted outside of eating these. You just get papaya seeds, pumpkin seeds. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? 3 pieces, and pomegranate seeds.
Okay.
And a little bit of oregano oil.
Yeah.
And you can blend them up in a food processor and make little balls.
Okay.
And you just chomp on the 3 of them. You make them a little smaller than a golf ball. 3 of them, 3 times a day for 10 days. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, you'll see them coming out of you.
Really?
You can see the worms coming out of you, bro,
How do you see them where?
in your shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And we all have it, especially with the food and stuff we eat today. As long the meat that we're getting is sitting on the shelf for days. Pork, another thing I just learned, pork never stops growing parasites. It is the only meat that never stops growing parasites. Pigs don't sweat, so they hold on to all their toxins. You can freeze pork, flash freeze it, and it will still grow parasites.
I don't really eat pork.
Yeah, good.
I like
I'm
it.
Stopping. I do too,
But
but not
I
no
haven't
more.
I haven't even had beef in a long time.
No, no
Only-
more.
the only
Yeah, well,
meat
you
that
gotta-
I've been having is chicken,
Well,
and I'll go 2 or 3 days with no meat.
That's good. You might be low on them. You know, they grow in fruit too. You know, bugs and shit. They grow in fruit
Mm.
too. Yeah, it's parasites. A fruit is alive, right? Anything alive
Let me
in
ask
this
you a
planet
question.
has bacteria.
Does fasting help with parasites?
Oh yeah, fasting because you're starving them. So when you start a fast,
Mm-hmm.
when you get that headache in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually the parasites.
Wow.
That's the parasites making you uncomfortable, causing you to have a headache to feed them. They're starving.
Wow.
So yeah. So if that's
You know what I
why the
noticed?
first day I fasted outside of eating those little balls.
You know what I noticed? Being that I'm eating clean, my practice at yoga is much stronger because
Your body's not fighting toxins anymore.
when I go to lift weights,
Lower
or
inflammation.
go to the gym, you can do that at your own pace. So like if you don't feel 100% whatever, you can. But
Yeah. When you're in class,
when you're in class, you
got
gotta keep up with the cadence. So like, I've been feeling strong, man, at class. Like the last few classes, I've been like killing it. Like
since you've been doing the 75 hard.
Yeah.
You've been eating clean. Yeah,
I've been
brother.
eating clean.
That shit affects you. I was
Yeah.
listening to a gentleman who was a business owner. He travels the world. He has an online business.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I come to America, I gain weight.
That's what he says.
Yeah, and then he said I eat the same. Well, a doctor says you're not gaining fat. You're gaining inflammation from all the shit that's in our air, in our food. Clouds are not supposed to be straight, streaky lines. In fact, they don't. Nature does not make straight, streaky line clouds. We do.
That's crazy, bro.
And that shit comes down.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah, I just, I've been talking about it. I'm on this quest to improve myself. So, like, nutrition, fasting, the cold plunge, the sauna. I'm just doing all these things, trying to. I was just watching this YouTube thing. This lady named Rhonda Patrick. She's a Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I like her. She has a lot of good things to say about longevity and, like exercising, like pushing yourself is good for your body and your brain. But talked to a lot of people. I spoke at a meeting yesterday, right? And this one dude, he told me a while back that he apologized to me, and I was like, for what? He said he was basically hating on me because he told me yesterday at the meeting, he says, I'm the most disciplined person that he's ever met. He says, but it used to bother him that I'm doing all this good stuff.
Yeah, 'cause he fucking hates himself.
That's
That's what people do,
for real?
bro. They talk shit to you because they fucking hate themselves.
And
When
he
they
was
see
like-
you doing things that they could never even imagine trying. When you're succeeding at things the people you love and who love you could not even fathom attempting, yeah, they're gonna hate on you.
Yeah, I
They're
said,
gonna
well,
talk. They're gonna say, "Who do you think you are?" Oh, he thinks he's better than everybody.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell them about your good things, and they're gonna look at you like, "You." I had an uncle do that to me. I'm like, I had some articles written about me. I told him about it. I thought he was gonna be all excited. He looked at me like, "Oh, really? You?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Guess what? Keep moving. Keep it going. Sometimes people are not gonna be happy. They're not mad at you. They're not unhappy with you. Understand that. They're unhappy with themselves."
So I'm trying to, I just feel like, because like the normal 58-year-old is like on his way down. You know what I mean? Like, you're 58, you're old. You know what I mean? When I was young, 58 was old to me. Put it that way. Like, and most people who are 58,
We're old. They were old.
they
though.
were
They're
old. They
alive.
looked old. They moved slow. I'm like bouncing off the walls. I mean, I gotta like say, oh, I'm just gonna chill and rest a little bit because I'm trying to have balance. I just keep going and going. And
While
going.
you're resting, other people are working. All right. I had a client, 35-year-old man, in terrible shape, gets himself in a situation, gets beat up, puts himself in a bad situation, says a bunch of stupid shit, gets his ass kicked. Now he's walking around, grown man, got in a fight. I have anxiety now, so I need to start. He comes to me, wants to learn how to fight, wants to work out. We do a little warm-up workout, and then I teach him how to hit pads for 45 minutes. 4 days later, I think I need a rest. My hamstrings are still really sore. Hold on, bro. You claim to have anxiety now. You got beat up. You're this much of a disgrace. And you do one half a workout, and 4 days later, you're too tired to get back on it. You're never going to win. You're never going to be successful, and you're never going to be happy with the man you look at in the mirror if you can't push through that shit. If you can't fight on the days other people want to rest. If you can't work while other people want to sleep in. If you can't stay home and study while other people want to go out and drink and party and smoke weed and do dumb shit. You have to be able to push through the pain.
Yeah,
The workouts, everything.
Let me tell you this. I saw this thing on Instagram yesterday. I sent it to
You
myself.
won't respect yourself.
This dude was interviewing Muhammad Ali back in the day when Muhammad was the champ, right? And he said, yo, champ, what's the hardest thing? Like, is it the running? Is it the sparring? Is it the this? What's the hardest thing you do to get ready for a fight? And he said, the hardest thing to do is stay away from the party, the women, and go to bed at 9 o'clock by myself. That's the hardest thing to do. I was like, damn. So basically he was saying being disciplined, you know what I mean? Like, but he wanted to be the champ. He wanted to be the best. So discipline is freedom, man. Like, I've never been this disciplined in my life. I wish, if I was this disciplined when I was a teenager, I would have made it to the NFL. Because I had the talent, but I was very undisciplined. I wanted to, like Muhammad Ali said, I wanted to get high, party, and have the women in the bed with me, and then think I'm going to do my best at the game the next morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is going to work out. You know what I mean?
You play how you practice, man. That's all, yo, man. So anybody who's doing anything, I don't care what kind of genre it's in, lifting, working out, anything, working, you're going to play how you practice. How you train, how you put effort into that is how you're going to look when test time comes. It's not just going to turn on. You know, I hear all these guys, I just see red when I fight. I don't need to learn anything. Yeah, okay. Those are the guys who've never gotten in a fight.
Well, maybe if you're fighting somebody who's just like you, but if you're fighting somebody who know what they're doing, they're going to whoop that ass. That's the bottom line. Like, you know, people who train all the time, and like, you know, matter of fact, I think I'm gonna start trying to learn how to box because I go down. I haven't been going to Kensington on Thursdays pretty much all summer, but I'm gonna start going back this Thursday and hang out with the kids, and I think I'm gonna ask them to teach me some boxing. You know what I mean? Like,
look at that, dude. He doesn't give a fuck. 58. He's gonna humble himself and go to some kids and ask them how to fight.
you know why? Because they know how to do it.
How do you think I felt at 38? I am learning from dudes who are in their 20s. Sometimes, like my story earlier about being in the corner. Yeah, that dude who had me cornered in the ring was like 10 years younger than me.
But he knows how to
that
fight.
plays on your mind.
He trains.
But you gotta keep working hard. You can't. That doesn't mean you give up. Nah, you just keep learning. You keep training.
But that's why I'm gonna be a
Because
hot
he was
yoga
there one
instructor.
time.
We all start. The first step. On every journey, it all starts with the first step. And
You can't be embarrassed because you're new at something.
I gotta learn how to be a teacher. And the hardest part, I think, for me being a teacher for hot yoga is learning the dialogue. So I've been practicing reading the dialogue because I have to get up in front of a class and be the instructor and say the dialogue so we can have a class and we can get through the class. I have to learn that, and so it's going to be a challenge, but I'm ready to face that challenge. And so when I go down with the kids, I'm like, yo, man, show me some stuff. I mean, I might ask a kid that's 14 because guess what? He's probably been boxing for 7 years. A lot of them kids started when they was 6, 7 years old, and they've been boxing, and they might be 14, 15, but they've been boxing 7, 8 years.
Sometimes you just gotta humble
I've never
yourself, you know?
boxed. You know what I mean? So I gotta take a first step.
Dude, and even like with my business, everything is, I hate social media. I didn't open up an Instagram until I opened my business like 8 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Yeah. Mine's
what
only
did
a
I
couple
do?
years old too.
I humbled myself. I went to these younger dudes and learned how to do it. I don't even like it. I think it's just not for me. But I'm on it. I'm here. I'm learning.
Well, everything has a positive and a negative. There's some good stuff with social media. I mean, there is. It's just
course.
there's good. I learned a lot on YouTube. That's what I'm
The
saying.
ancient Chinese got it with the yin and the yang. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
light in the dark. There's a little bit of dark in the light. And I, from my experience, those little morsels of light and darkness are your most. That's your best knowledge. That's your biggest lesson. To find that little bit of light in the dark, that little bit of dark in the light. That's where you're gonna grow the most. That's where you're gonna learn the most. That's where you're gonna open up the most. And I mean open up here, the soul.
Yeah. So you think we're ready to wrap this up, baby?
Yeah,
It's
we're
like
gonna
40
wrap it up,
we're like
y'all.
46 minutes in this thing.
Crushed it. What's up, Cole? Thanks for joining in, man. Omar, everybody there, Saguna, appreciate you guys. Love y'all.
Stay clean.
Yes.
Get clean. Get a support group. Get a spot.
Listen, if you don't know what to do and you just got clean, hit me up.
Yeah,
Recover
man.
at Roundtable Wellness and Fit on IG. Recovery Roundtable is the program that will teach you how to live after rehab.
If you're close to here, come to my home group tonight in Turnersville, St. Charles Borromeo Church, 7:30. And
Yo.
we welcome people, and a lot of people have changed their lives there, man.
That's what's
I got
up.
29 years
Need some
and
brotherhood,
9 months and 27 days clean. I
Social
know that because
interaction.
yesterday I looked at my thing because they asked everybody what their clean time was. So I have this thing on my app on my phone. It says 29. Yesterday it said 29 years, 9 months, and 26 days.
Nice.
And I'm closing in on 30 years, and that's going to be a big celebration. And my kids are going to come. My ex-wife's going to come. A lot of my friends are going to come. People I met along the way, and I'm just getting started, man. I'm just getting started. I'm still young, man. I'm still like, I don't know. I think I might live another 40, 50 years. I really believe that. And I think it's going to be quality years because I'm working hard towards that. Look, I was just looking at my legs in the thing. Man, I can't get enough of myself. I'm sorry. I can't. I just love myself. Look at this, man. 58 years old, man. Working hard, man. And what I like about hot yoga, you look at yourself in the mirror. It's all about you. It's a 90-minute open-eye meditation. Like, this is called recovery. Like, you do drugs, you put poison in your body. We're talking about now, and we're talking about getting parasites out of our body. We're talking about eating right. We're talking about like improving
Life wellness.
wellness,
Yes.
mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually
Yes.
fit. Being the best person you can be. And it takes work, and it takes, I have a hunger for it, man. And like, I'm glad that I'm reading again, because I used to read a lot, man. I used to read books a lot. And reading is fundamental. Remember they say that? And it's good for it's good for your mind, man, to read and to like educate yourself, man.
I love it.
That's my journey, man. And I'm glad that, it's funny. How long we been doing this now? Me and you?
About 12 episodes now, 12 weeks.
He came to me one day because we had met at the gym. We were talking, and he saw what I was. I guess he saw because I was doing it with other people, and
I don't know how I'd come across it somewhere.
yeah, and it didn't last because everybody, fell out for whatever reason, and I stopped doing it. And he said something to me about it. I said, "Well, why? You want to do it?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, I said, "Well, I'm serious, man." I said, "We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it every week, once a week, and blah blah blah." He's like, "Nah, man, come on, we're gonna do this." And then he came over. I came over because we do it in his backyard. Maybe in the winter time we'll go somewhere else. But we can always do it in my house, whatever. But yeah, we're out of here, man. His phone died. Episode
28.
Addiction and Recovery Talk. God bless.